Hello. So it's been quite a while since. Oh, great light. It's been quite a while since I vlogged. And the reason why I haven't vlogged is because I recently had a baby. Yeah, I had a baby girl, and I was pregnant with her November of 2011. No, sorry, November of 2012. So, no, November 2011. She was born in 2012. I'm getting confused. But anyway, that's what happens when you're a mommy. You lose track of time. But I didn't vlog when I was pregnant either because I was very sick. I had a very tough pregnancy. Very tough. So, plus I didn't feel like vlogging. Or blogging for that matter. I was experiencing a lot of stuff, and when you're experiencing so much stuff, you don't want to talk about it. You know, one experience, okay, but something's happening every single day, you're like, what the heck am I going to blog today that, whatever was happening to me, it wasn't blog material, it was very personal, and it's very personal, and it was stuff that I wouldn't talk about with just anyone unless you're my best friend, because it's my life after that experience is like a sci-fi movie in a good way. But I also wanted to vlog because I am starting to feel the negative comments on my vlog, and it's affecting me. So I want to clear some things up. So first of all, when I made that video, I made it a week after my experience, and it was fresh. I was still in that energy field, if you will. So I was still feeling the love and the tingles of it and the openness. I was feeling good. I was feeling very connected to, something we call God, and I was calling it God back then. I still call it God because, it's a good way of saying it, where most people understand, the almighty power. Before I vlogged that video, before I even had the experience, I was a believer of God, right? I love Jesus Christ, and I think that's one of the reasons why He came to me, because I already have that impression in my mind as a divine being, right? So some of you understand what I'm saying, and some of you have no idea what I'm saying. So basically, if you grow up as a Hindu, then maybe Shiva or some other deity, Hindu deity, would come to you in that state of bliss, right? But in my experience, Jesus came because I love Jesus, right? And I correlate divinity with Jesus. I mean, now I correlate divinity with many different beings, if you will. But that's because, I'm open to it. Not because I'm betraying Jesus. That's a religious thing, which I'm not religious, and I actually never was religious. I was born this way. I was always open-minded. I've always loved Jesus. I was born into a Catholic family, but I never believed in the church. What they were saying, it's like, it was very hard for me to believe that we're born sinners, or that we need to, that we might go to hell if we do something wrong. I didn't buy it. I just, from a very young age, and I still don't buy it, obviously. But I still love Jesus. I wasn't a churchgoer, although I sang in the choir or whatever. I liked the feeling. I like, the good feeling that you get when people get together in love. But I don't like all of the dogmatic rules, of religions. I just don't believe in it. For me, religion separates. It separates people rather than uniting them. Why would Catholics go to heaven and Jews go to hell? Or Muslims? Or Hindus? Do you see what I mean? We're all God's children. God's children. So I don't understand the whole concept of religion. For me, it's all one and the same because I've actually experienced the oneness, where things kind of evaporated, right? You kind of like, if you ever watched the movie The Matrix, that's basically what life is. Okay, now you're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? We don't live in a program. But kind of we do. So it's a projection of our consciousness. So if some of you, I don't know if some of you ever listened to The Secret, which is, I've listened to that, before my Kundalini experience. And that's where, I was talking about being spiritual in my first blog. Yeah, because I believed in like attract like and the power of the mind. Yeah, there is power in the mind. There is power in the consciousness. And so you can create whatever you like, whatever you want. I want so badly to be in a family, to have a loving partner and a baby and dog and a cat, just like the house, and I want that so badly, because I know that, that could be a dream, if you want to call it that. And in my heart, I wanted that, and I have it now. I was blessed with that. It's a struggle, nothing is perfect. It could be. Yeah, you have to work on it, though. You have to work on yourself. And I am, and that's what I've been doing, so this is why I have been vlogs, because I have been working on myself. Even though I have had all these experiences, but through these experiences, I've been peeling the onion, if you will. Peeling the onion to get to the core, which is me. The core of me. Right? So, I'm babbling, I think. Sometimes this happens. This is why I didn't know if I was ready to vlog. I haven't vlogged in a long time, so I'm babbling. But that's okay. At least you people out there kind of getting a feel for me, right? Where I am at this point. Some people think you think I'm crazy, which is not true. And some people think that, like, wow, good for her, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, what else do I want to say? So, the whole, the comments on here, the nasty comments, the ones that say that I'm a Satanist, Kundalini is an energy. It's, they call it the serpent because the energy goes up like this, right? It has nothing to do with, the quote-unquote devil in the Bible, the snake, the devil. It has nothing to do with that. Absolutely nothing. It's just an energy that has gone up my spine and through my chakra, which, you can call that Hindu if you want, but it's just a name for energy points in your body, right? In your heart and lower part of the body. I didn't even know what a chakra was before, I had that experience. I had no clue. I swear. I never meditated, and this is true, and that's the title of my video. I had never meditated before, and some people were saying on the comments that it's dangerous. And I can see that for sure, I'm lucky. I'm very lucky because after it happened, remember I told you about this guy Ashim. He's actually my fiance now. Yeah. So he's been my partner. He's helped me through this process. He's been my best friend, my confidant, my teacher. And he's really helped me. And he's helped me find a meditation that will help, kind of balance the energy, because it is a very powerful energy that comes through. And so I was initiated into Kriya Yoga, which is basically a breath that goes up and down your spine. So I was having kind of lots of experiences where I was scared, This is coming from like a girl that hadn't, only knew the religions. I didn't know anything about, meditation and, like I said, chakras and Kundalini and any of this stuff. I didn't. So I was scared. And so I would go to Ashim and ask him about this stuff. And if this happened to you, if you've had a Kundalini awakening, you should find someone to help you, even if that means that you need to go find a guru. It's not a bad thing to have a guru, because they can assist you, they can help you, they can tell you what you're experiencing, because nobody else might understand. Especially if you're someone like me. Your family might think you're crazy, your friends too. So you need to see someone that understands what the heck is going on. You should read about it. You should go on YouTube and look at some videos. You should, do everything in your power to educate yourself so that you have the power instead of letting the Kundalini take over. You see what I mean? So some people think that I never even had a Kundalini awakening. They think I'm faking it. Okay, great. I'm faking it. Okay, I'm not faking it, but if you think that, then fine. Don't look at my videos and don't comment either. There's no need for all the negativity. Scratchy nose. Do you understand? I've become very sensitive throughout this process, and I feel everything. I feel everyone and everything. I've actually become so sensitive that I've become a little bit psychic. So I can feel a person's energy. Like, for example, I can feel that someone is going to send me some negative energy before it actually happens, right? I can't tell, like, if I don't know you, I can't tell. But if I know you, I already know. And I'll tell my fiance, like, oh, like, I don't feel good about this person, what's going on? I'll just voice out my feelings, and sometimes he thinks I'm crazy. And he's like, what are you talking about? What did this person do to you? I'm like, I don't know, but I feel bad energy. I feel like something bad is going to happen. I don't know. And then it does. So, like I said, cool off with the bad comments. Like, I haven't, blocked anyone. I haven't filtered through the comments. I let you guys be free to comment however you want. But before you start whipping out, like, that I'm a Satan follower, or like I'm evil, or I've been deceived, or educate yourself first, or if you really feel like that, don't say anything. Because whatever you say, you think I'm going to listen to you? Like, you're just some person on YouTube. You think I'm going to listen to some person on YouTube's comment? No, but I feel it. I feel the negativity. So I say with graciousness and, with love in my heart, please stop with the negative comments. Okay. So I'm sure some of you are going to do it anyway, but at least I spoke, my truth. So, besides that, a lot of you have asked me how I'm feeling. Well, after the Kundalini, I felt very good, and I always feel good, right? I'm always in a positive state of being. But, my health hasn't been the best. And it's probably because I'm constantly releasing these negative energy bodies, which is, it's a result of living life. I'm not a spring chicken. So, when you're born into this world, you're a pure vessel. You're clear. I mean, you have okay, this is a religious thing or whatever, but it's not. You have your impressions of, past lives, but you're still a clear vessel. And so then when you live your life, you start to get all these impressions, and basically the pain, the hate, the jealousy, the heartaches, all that kind of stuff. It really affects you. So, the thing that helps me is meditation. It does. And I never thought I would say that, but it does. And I love to do my Kriya Yoga, and it makes me feel good because I come back to myself, which is really, it's the I am that actually Jesus talks about. But a lot of people deny it, of course. And I don't know what else to say, but that's all I feel like saying right now, actually. That's really why I jumped on here. My baby's sleeping, and I figured let me jump on and really tell these people how I feel and what's going on. And, that's all. That's all. Bye.